Hi, my name's John Kaufeld, and if you have a vision, I want to talk to you for a minute. You know, it's really cool having a vision, right? You've got this concept in your mind, and you can see it very clearly. You are headed to the road less traveled. Okay? You know where you want to go. You know what Fort Wayne needs. You have this passion, and you are dying to share it. And that's great. But the challenge with that, the real mark of a leader with a vision, is not just that you've got the vision, not just that you can see the vision clearly, not just that you have stepped out and put yourself out into the public arena, but the mark of a leader is then being able to communicate that vision to people so that they sign on, so that they get into it, so that they follow you. Now, if you can't get that vision out of your head and into somebody else's head, you've got a problem. And honestly, I've seen a lot of leaders fail at that, myself included. I had a store some years ago down in Indianapolis, and I had a really simple vision for customer service. I just told my clerks, you know, make the customer happy. And it got all turned around in this weird vibe of, well, what do we do when this happens? Well, just make them happy. Well, what do we do when this happens? Well, just make them happy. I mean, to me, this vision was so painfully obvious, I couldn't understand why they weren't getting it. Well, now I'm a few years older and hopefully a little wiser. But looking back on that, I totally understand why they weren't getting it. I was out there on the road less traveled. Woo, look at me on the road less traveled, having a blast. And I thought that the people that worked for me would just hear me yelling in the woods and come, and they'd catch the vision too. And they didn't. And you know what? That was my problem. I needed to communicate my vision better. So what I want to speak to TEDx Fort Wayne about is the idea of sharing your vision, communicating your passion, but doing it in a way that people get. Because if you get followers who really can't see what you see, then they aren't really going to follow you. They're going to get lost along the way. Worse yet, they're not going to be able to build on the vision you see. So Fort Wayne, we've got a lot of people with passion. We've got a lot of people with vision. I want the opportunity to speak to TEDx about communicating that vision so that we can all see cool stuff happen.